Hey brother, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Let's go, champ. What are we here for?
So we're here today to talk about a special piece. It's a collaboration between the Hong Kong-based watch club, Watch Co & Co, and Selten, which is a Hong Kong-based watch company.
Okay. What's a watch club, like as in some sort of secret society?
So speaking to Jackie, the idea in essence is about a community coming together, and I think it's very much what this watch represents as well as we'll go on to talk about.
Cool. So we've got it obviously here with us and in front of us. So what's the first thing that you can tell me about this watch that you've now spent a bit of time with and also done your research? I haven't, so I'm kind of being the guy who is wondering as to what it is. So
what we're looking at here is a 2-year anniversary piece and a watch that, for all intents and purposes, fits very, very well on the wrist. I think the first thing you notice looking at it is the dial, which is incredible. So what they've done is they've used a Tahitian Mother of Pearl, which has got an iridescence. You get hints of greens, hints of pinks, hints of reds coming through, and in the light it looks really, really special. And what they've also got is a repeating pattern, and that pattern is known as the mountain pattern. And the idea around this repeating pattern is that it would have been used on ancient armour in ancient China. And the idea when we look at this watch and what it represents, it's about togetherness, it's about quiet strength. Mm-hmm. And when you look at that watch, you're looking at the dial straight away because it just is glaring at you instantly.
Certainly the dial is something I've never seen before in terms of this Mother of Pearl patterned kind of feature, and the way it blinks, effectively the way I look at it, and actually reflects in the light is that effectively you get kind of several dials in one, depending on the wrist roll that you do, and it reflects in such a way that it reveals the pattern, but it feels like it's a different pattern depending on which angle you're looking at it from.
Yeah.
What kind of technique is this?
So that would have been using a CNC, and it's something that's very commonly used within the watch world. It's essentially almost stamping a pattern out. Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing is that using Tahitian Mother of Pearl and CNC is slightly more complicated. So to be able to achieve that is actually quite significant. And
Mother of Pearl is a kind of material that's
naturally occurring.
I sometimes wonder, I'm wondering now what the difference is between Tahitian Mother of Pearl and just general Mother of Pearl.
So general Mother of Pearl, as far as I understand it, tends to have more of a white background. Say for example, if we're looking at a dial and it's got a white background, but in the right light you get those hints of reds, greens coming through. Whereas when you're looking at this dial, there's to some extent a darker base to it, and that's where the Tahitian comes from. And Tahitian, I assume, is coming from Tahiti.
Yeah. Somewhere for happy horologists to perhaps
visit at one point.
And be happy at and maybe do a review. Imagine being in Tahiti with a Tahitian Pearl dial. I mean, it's that's amazing. What about in terms of, I hear there's something on the number 2 here that's special.
Yeah, so if you look at the dial close up, if you go to where the number 2 would be, you've got Chinese numerals, which again is a nod to the 2nd year anniversary of Watch Co & Co. So it's a really nice little detail. And the other thing I was going to say is as you look closer to it, you can see rings that form part of the pattern as well. And those rings again are around connection, community, coming together, which I guess for both of us being in the watch world is huge. You know, there is no judgment about what watch you have or what watch you don't have or what watch you like. This watch for me is a symbol of that. It's a symbol of coming together. It's a symbol of uniting, having a shared enjoyment for watches. And I think this watch, through symbolism, represents that in a nutshell. And I guess the other thing I was going to say, looking at it, is the sword hands. So again, the sword hands aren't necessarily about battle, but more about camaraderie and again coming together. So I think this watch instills that in every component. If we talk about the repeated mounting pattern, if we're talking about the rings that are there as well, if we're talking about the sword hands, all of it is togetherness and community, and I think it's doing a great job of that.
One thing I like about the sword hands is that, and maybe it's just my own peculiarity and character, but because they're so pointy, it's very clear to tell what they're pointing at. And both with the hour hand and the minute hand, and it's a two-hand watch. So it's simplistic in that sense, with a kind of complex background with that reflection and the way the pattern is engraved. So it's a right balance to me between this specificity of the sword hands and the elaborateness of the background of the dial.
I was going to say, actually, the chaptering means you can tell the time. This isn't, for all intents and purposes, a sterile dial where, and again, we love sterile dials on watches, but there's an idea here that it functions in a way that you can tell the exact time. It's got a chapter ring, it's got hour intervals, it's got 5-minute intervals, so you can genuinely tell what's going on. And I think that makes a big difference with a watch that is very much all about the dial.
So one thing with putting it on the wrist, I'm generally speaking bracelet kind of guy. So my today's watch is the Hamilton Khaki King with a hand engraved bracelet. But this feels like I could get into it with a strap on, because the strap was very easy to put on. It just kind of sits easily, and it's kind of thinner strap than what I usually experience from other watches, which is also cool. Tell me a little bit more about the strap and the whole kind of what I look as integration between the strap and the dial.
So strap-wise, we're looking at, I guess, what I would call a taupe strap with a contrasting white stitch. And I think it's a strap that just belongs to the watch. It just feels like it cohesively works with the dial, with the general design of the watch. I imagine, again, it's got quick release, so you could change the strap if you wanted to. And again, with the myriad of different colors you've got that gleam on the dial, I imagine you could really, really mix up what strap you use for it. I think this strap works really well. There's something quite neutral about it, and I think that neutralness means that the dial is there to shine.
Yeah. Do you typically wear your watch like closer to the wrist here or higher up?
So my understanding, as we're talking about the topic, is generally speaking, your watch should cover the bone.
Okay.
So that's what my understanding was. Now for me, wearing a watch is about what's comfortable for you. So by all intents and purposes, you wear the watch how you want to wear it.
Because this one seems to sit really well just above the bone here. And it sort of feels good there as well. What about the lugs and all this kind of stuff?
So I think, again, we're looking at a watch that has got that magic sub 10 millimeter thickness. And I think when you're wearing a watch and you want it to be something you can wear perhaps daily or something a bit dressier, for me, having that sub 10 millimeter thickness makes a difference. It means it can go under a cuff without, effortlessly, without having to worry about it. The lug to lug of the watch is, I think, just over 45 millimeters, and by all means will give the information as needed for the tech spec of the watch, but it just works very, very well. You can have a slightly larger wrist, and because of the presence of the dial, it's going to work well. You can have a smaller wrist. Neither of us have particularly large wrists, and it sits so comfortably on the wrist. And then again, when you look at the lugs, you've got a slight bevel on the edge. It's just those small details that I think make a real difference in the watch.
So, can I share a secret with you?
Go for it.
Yeah. So, I've been quite a macho guy. Okay, I was like born and bred in pretty macho kind of country. And actually, over the last bunch of years, for me, it's been really about integrating more of a kind of subtle, feminine kind of energy. And so I've got, like, for example, Tudor Black Bay Chrono, which is a very macho watch. But then I'm actually interested in a little bit more feminine watches to kind of make me mellower and balance me out psychologically. So this actually works really well as that kind of more on the feminine side, mellower watch.
And my view of it is I think both can wear. 1, because of its slim profile. 2, because of the lug to lug. And 3, because I think a dial that has got a classiness to it with regards to the Tahitian Mother of Pearl, I just think sits well on male and female wrists really easily. I just think that you could wear it and it will catch the light, and a person, in fact that did happen, I was at work coincidentally and I was standing there and it caught the light and somebody approached me straight away going, oh, what's that watch? I've never seen that before. Naturally they wouldn't have done. But the reality of it is I think it catches the attention of both males and females, and I think there's something very unisex about the watch actually.
And the crown is quite specific, almost like an onion crown.
Yeah, it has got those kind of, and I guess we talk about onion crowns as being a bit more vintagey, and I just like the way it sits actually. You've got a very clearly defined mid case that's brushed, you've got polished, you know, front side and back side, and obviously we've got the Miyota 9039 movement, and that's, I think, been customized through Selten as well. And there is, you know, it's a full rotor, but obviously weighted in a particular way. It's bi-directional and it's got 42 hours, so you can take this watch off and pretty much for the whole of the weekend come back to it, and you're almost in a position where you could put it back on again, just about.
Yeah, it's a kind of sexy watch that I can see myself like going out like weekends, you know, to sort of like a outing restaurant.
And I think it dresses up and it dresses down. I think there is a, you know, there is a usefulness in terms of all different situations. I think you're not going to take it diving clearly, although Tahitian Mother of Pearl suggests that there's a water connection there. But I just think it's a watch that you could dress very casually in and wear, especially with the taupe strap, which worked in so many different situations. And you could just as easily wear, I think, a nice suit. Very much, I feel it's got a summer connection to it as well. So for me, I said the word collection, it's something that would definitely be considered for the collection, because it really is a very, very well put together watch.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much. Cheers, Brenna.